Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of all? Would be the question that you've all heard in Disney stories. But I think the question in real life should be mirror, mirror on the wall, I have no secrets because you know them all. This means that the mirror, which is your inner self, is the one which knows you truly and completely. And so, we have this session to help us transform our inner self by CA Sanjay Dhariwal. I now request CA Yusuf to escort CA Sanjay Dhariwal onto the dais and welcome him with a book.
Our esteemed speaker, CA Sanjay Dhariwal, is a chartered accountant and is a founder partner of the firm Dhariwal and Srinivas and heads Business Consultancy Division. Sanjay is also a graduate of law from Bangalore University. Sanjay had been active in the field of spreading awareness on indirect tax by conducting seminars, presenting papers, and is a contributor to leading indirect tax journals and newspapers. He is a visiting faculty at the KSCAA. He has presented more than 1,200 papers on VAT, sales tax, and GST, and more than 400 papers on other topics in various platforms. Also nominated previously for 4 years as member of Indirect Tax Committee of KSCAA. With this brief introduction, I hand over the session to you, sir.
A very good afternoon. I'm sorry I'm holding you all from your lunch. So I would basically say that I've got 15 minutes time to talk about transformation, which is very less, but I will make an effort to speak about this topic. I would first like to acknowledge two people who have been responsible for me to be where I am today on this KSCA platform. One is Sri Kiranchanji Nahar, where I have done my articleship. My sir is sitting here, and I thank you very much for all your blessings till date, sir. And the second person is actually in the list, should be in the first, because he was the person who inspired me to get into the CA course when I was in my degree, when I intended to be a lawyer, and he had come to our college to deliver a lecture on income tax. And after the session was over, 5 of my friends decided not to do the CA, and I went and asked him, "Sir, is it necessary that you should have so much knowledge to be a chartered accountant?" And he bluntly said yes, and that is Sri Padamchand Khincha. I thank both of them for being a motivator, guide, and everything for whatever I am today as a chartered accountant. They are responsible for it. Before talking about the transformation, I would like to just give 3 important aspects of my life, and then I will talk about what the transformations happened. Many of you know that I have spoken on many platforms. I have been an author on indirect taxes. But very few people may know that I am the same person who had failed in my 8th standard. I am the same person who had taken 2 attempts to pass my 10th standard. So after doing that, I went on to be one of the visiting faculties at IIM Bangalore. So there was a change which happened in my life. The second important I see is an event in my life, which is not related to the profession, is in the 2015 when I was in Kathmandu and the earthquake happened. In a span of 22 days, I narrowly missed death 6 times. The first was when I was moving from Delhi to Kathmandu and the flight's AC stopped working. Imagine you are in the air, which I was supposed to be 10 minutes later, and it would have been at 20,000 feet above the sea level, and you have the ACs not working. I would have been a good ice cube for people like Venkat Ramani to have it in the glass. The second incident happened was on 25th of April, just 2 days after I reached Kathmandu, when we had experienced the earthquake of 7.9. A very interesting situation where the earthquake was 7.9 and I had gone there to do the darshan of my guru, and in that 1 kilometer radius, not a single building fell down and not a single person died in that 1 kilometer radius where my guru was there. And the beauty about the whole thing was that the tremors which happened in Kathmandu, which was the epicenter around 30 kilometers away, the tremors were felt up to Chennai. After that, I was on the next day serving food for around 500 to 1,000 people in an under construction building, and then again I experienced an earthquake of 6.7. If that was not enough, I took the flight to Bangalore back so that I thought that I could basically survive. I come back to Bangalore, and on 30th of April 2015, a tree falls on my car just around a few hours before I'm supposed to go for a lecture on VAT for the Jewelers Association. And if that was not enough, then again I go to meet Mr. Padamchand Khincha in his office. And when I walk down to the office, there is a huge breeze which comes in, and 1 feet away from me, a board falls from the 4th floor, which was large enough as this size, and I basically saved my skull. And the last and not the least, on my birthday on 12th of May, I wanted to do the darshan of my Guru. My wife permitted me to go back to Kathmandu, though the earthquakes were still on. On 11th of May, I reached Kathmandu, and on 12th of May, again I see an earthquake, which is of around 7.3. So these were the tremors, and the 50 to 100 odd tremors which I saw through it. And believe me, the fear was also there, but the one belief I had that my Guru is there, so nothing will go wrong. So this was a huge change, and my Guru was Acharya Mahashraman at that time, and the man who motivated me to spirituality was Acharya Mahapragya. So these were the second changes which actually impacted my life. And in the same June 2015, while playing cricket, we had a cricket match between DNS and Khincha and Company. I injured my knee. And it took me around 1 year. I was limping around the whole year because my knee didn't recover. Then I went for a keyhole surgery of my knee. And after 50 days, I realized, when I'd been to the hospital, that I had a DVT which was around 2 inches thick. The DVT had blown into my lungs. If it had gone into the heart and lungs, I wouldn't have been speaking here. Probably my spirits could have come and spoken in front of you. And when I was taken to Fortis Hospital, I was smiling because I had sent a message to my partner Srinivas Babu that 1 week I'm not coming to the office, so I'm going to enjoy in the hospital. So he sent me a smiley back. And when I spoke to my doctor, he asked me, Sanjay ji, do you know what happened to you? I said, yes, I know. He asked, do you know I don't think you know the seriousness of it. I said, I do know the seriousness. He said, can you tell me, if you would have known the seriousness, you would not be smiling. I said, I would have been with my body without the soul if I was a few hours late. He said, even after that, are you willing to smile? I said, why not? I know my disease. I trust my doctors. Beyond that, nor you can do anything, nor I can do anything, so let me smile. So these are the 3 incidences which I thought I will talk today. I will not talk about the profession, which is very important. The one person who always had confidence that I would be a chartered accountant was my father. I remember when I failed in my 10th, my father always used to say, my elder brother will be a doctor and I'll be a chartered accountant. People used to make fun of him to say that a person who's failed in his 10th, how can he be a chartered accountant? He used to say, no, my son will be a CA. At that time, I never had an intention of doing CA. I was more inspired to be a lawyer because I used to watch a lot of movies and I used to see the dramatic entertainment of how an advocate performs on the courts. He had that confidence that don't worry, you will be a chartered accountant. And with the blessings of my gurus and various mentors in the process of doing my CA, from Professor Ranganath, Professor Nayak, to Mr. Nagin Bhai Khincha, to Rajendra Rao sir, to K.S. Ravi Shankar sir, to Raghu Raman sir, all of them have been my teachers who had inspired me and because of which today I was able to complete my CA, though I was a second attempt in 10th standard and a failure in 8th standard. So this was a major change. What was the change which happened? Was there a spiritual magic which happened? No. The only difference what I do after I did an introspection, I realized that the only difference between the Sanjay in the 8th and 10th standard and the Sanjay today who's standing in front of you is only one change, and that change is, earlier I did not know what I was. Earlier I did not believe in what I was, and I started believing in myself when I had joined my CA course, when I had opportunities to present papers, when I had a boss like Kiran Bhai who gave me all the independence in the articleship In fact, in the third month of articleship, I was permitted to visit the department and represent on his behalf for his clients. So this was the confidence which was given to me, which made me what I am today. When you talk about the continuous earthquakes which happen, so there is one belief which I always have now to say that things will happen, calamities will happen, challenges will come. A SVB bank issues will always come, a pandemic will come. Are you going to be afraid? I think we have to believe in our karma philosophy. We had a wonderful session in the morning on karma and dharma, so I will not take much issues on that particular aspect because Venkatraman sir spoke wonderfully on those two topics. I would only say that believe in your karma and things will go well. And the last thing when I talk about a medical miracle which happened, when the AIMS director from Delhi had come down to Bangalore and he asked me, how come you have slimmed down? I told him that this is what happened to me in Fortis. He said, do you think I have flowers on my ears? I said, what do you mean, sir? He said that, Sanjay, if you had gone through all this, you had a DVT and it gone to your lungs, you shouldn't have survived. And then when he saw my reports, which Bindu had bought it, she's also here, my wife has come here today, and she bought the report and showed it to him. He just told Bindu one thing, that he should not have survived. So don't stop him from doing good job, because that is probably the reason that his guru's blessings and he doing a good job for the society is what has helped him. So with this indication, I would say that all my friends present here, I have got the KSCAA president and the whole team who has logged out over here. I'm sure after this conference, people would do tell you that this was missing, that was missing, it could have happened better. Please understand that you live alone amongst a crowd. But believe me, you are always interdependent with the crowd, and we have to learn to serve back the society, give back the society, because if you are thinking that you can live alone, you cannot live alone. This is a book written by Acharya Mahapragyaji, which I went in depth. I thought that he is talking about the Jain philosophy to say that be with yourself. Because if you don't develop your soul, how do you grow? And believe me, in a part of the book, in a chapter of his book, he also says that we all may be independent, but as human beings, we are always interdependent with each other. Today, from your morning till the evening, you have hundreds of agencies which are working with you, thousands of people which are responsible for what you are, and therefore, it is also our duty to contribute back to the society, which is most important. And one thing which I have seen in my professional friends, which I would like to pass on a message, not that because I have quit the GST practice, I don't practice much. Venkat always says that you should have been putting more efforts, you come without preparations, etc. I would put it across one thing, that please look around the world. You have your office, you have your clients, you have got the society, you give a lot of time to them. You also ignore the time to your family, which is a must, and I have been doing that. That is the reason I called my wife today to say that I am sorry that I have given more time to the society, to the family, and this is the confession which I would like to do today. The most important thing that you have to understand is that whatever is your professional demands, whatever is your client demands, whatever is your deadlines which you have got, please don't ignore your family, please don't ignore your body, please don't ignore your soul. Your family is there till you are going to be there, or till they are going to be there. Your body is going to be the only thing which is going to be there till you are alive in this birth. But for all your future births or all the things, if you believe in reincarnation, it is also your soul which is important. And that is the last thing we give importance is to our soul. The lesser importance we give to our body, and the least, and after that, the less importance you give to your family. I think these three things is a message I would like to give to my friends here, that please don't ignore them. You don't have a healthy body, nor can you serve your client. In 2016, when I had this serious issue, not a single person came to inquire about my health, because either they did not know it, or they felt it is okay, it doesn't matter. But when you call them for a function, you call them for an invitation, the whole society is there with you. I'm not complaining against the society, but I'm only telling you one important aspect, that you are responsible for yourself, so don't ignore yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Transformation is an ongoing process that tends to appear ordinary when, in fact, something extraordinary is taking place. Your experience made us to understand, to excavate the power of courage which is present within us. Thank you, sir, for showcasing the power of the word belief, and we all need to believe ourselves. Can we have a huge round of applause for CA Sanjay Dhariwal?
I request CA Kota Srinivas, Central Council member, to present a token of gratitude to CA Sanjay Dhariwal.
Stay for just 3-4 minutes. First of all, let me congratulate the President Pramod and the entire team for this wonderful conference. You heard my friend Sanjay talking about the tremors and the smiles. So when we talk about the profession, what is going on in this profession, especially the next month, all of us are ready to get the bank audits and do the bank audits. But there are a lot of tremors in the profession as such. We have to keep smiling. First and the foremost thing, what has happened in the bank audit is because of the technology that has been improved over a period of time, the number of bank branch audits have reduced because of the technology, use of technology. And earlier, we used to do the bank audits, the branches based on the advances, maybe more than 20 crores advances were subject to audit. Last to last year, it came to 90%. Last year, it was 80%. And this time, RBI said it will be 70% of the advances, both funded and non-funded advances. That way, the number of branches may reduce. In fact, 2-3 days back, ICA had a discussion with all the central statutory auditors of the banks, and we requested that you don't disturb the existing auditors as such. And this time what has happened is, instead of 3 audits, every chartered accountant firm will be getting 2 branches, so that there will be equitable distribution of the branches. And all the auditors have assured us that they will not disturb the existing panel of auditors. And from next year onwards, RBI has said the bankers to decide the percentage. This time it is 70%. Going forward, it is left to the bankers to decide the percentage. But the auditor said, the statutory auditor said, we will not disturb the existing panel. Everybody will be getting that 2 branch audits. So we know that after 4 years, there will be a cooling period. So when once the 4 years term is over for the auditors, slowly they will be reducing, and accordingly they will reduce the percentages as such. Coming to this peer review thing, I think all of you must be aware, from 1st of April 2023, any firm having 5 or more partners, it is compulsory to get your firm peer reviewed. Otherwise, you cannot do the statutory audits, any of the statutory audit. Attest functions you cannot do. Even a tax audit, if you have to sign, you should have a valid peer review certificate as on 1st of April 2023. And we have developed something called AQMM model, that is Audit Quality Maturity Model, that is also compulsory from 1st of April 2023. Those firms who are doing any of the audits, that is listed company audits or central statutory auditors of banks or insurance companies, it is compulsory for them to have this AQMM self-evaluation model, so that when once the peer review cycle comes, they will get into that. Apart from this, what is happening in the profession? Of course, a lot of things are happening in the profession as such. One of the new initiatives or new thing that is coming is social audit. Social audit for chartered accountants. We have a social stock exchange, and I wish there will be certain, certification courses. I wish all of you will get to know about that and understand that social security audits. And of course, sustainability reporting is also gearing up. All of you can get into that certification course on sustainability reporting, and there may be a lot of opportunities that is coming in the future as such. Once again, I thank the KSCAA for giving me this opportunity to share a few of my thoughts with each and every one of you. Thank you once again. I hope all of you are waiting for lunch. I can say that now it's a lunch break. After that, they may have the next proceedings. Thank you, one and all, for this time.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and for updating us with the recent changes in the profession.